Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sparky Formstead. Please hit the like button, drop in comments who you are and where you are watching from. Listen to me. All right, I have a limited amount of time and I'm tired of trying to wake people up when you want to be asleep. There are protests scheduled for the entirety of the United States on January 29th, 2025. Now, these protests are not your average run of the mill protest. Not only are they going to be live protests, but they're also going to be protesting. In other words, they're not going to shop. They're going to cancel their Meta and their AT&T and their Apple. Hey, everybody, how are y'all? They're basically intending to do more than just protest. All right. So I had this very weird comment on my YouTube channel earlier, and it was by somebody named Gray Sonic IC. And I blocked them, but this is what their message said. The fine art market has been depressed lately, but I think that if you go to the next auction of old masters at Sotheby's, you'll find that prices are going to rise. Also, if you're in the city, check out the new Addy with Angel Blue at the Met. See you at the Lincoln Center. Now that popped up under my video, cute winter boots. So I know that it was some young person trying to virtue signal to other young people, so I blocked them. But here's what you guys don't understand. A lot of you YouTube, you don't TikTok, you don't Instagram, you don't know what Reddit is. You don't know how to follow where these young people are posting or what they're posting. That's my job. So let me tell you what I'm seeing on Reddit. And a direct quote here. My immediate response when I hear about protest is total apathy. I'm protested out. I protested for racial, criminal, reproductive, and sexuality, gender, and many more injustices. I voted for leadership that shares my views, and I've been an advocate and donated money. I didn't choose any of this nonsense this time or the last time. Honestly, I don't care what happens. It is learned helplessness, yes. Will I come out of this slump with vigor? Probably. Will I continue to be invested in marginalized communities? Hell yeah. But right now, I feel depleted. And these are the responses from other like-minded, liberal, brainwashed youth. I think the steps to go with protest include boycott, strikes, and other disruptions of day-to-day machinery. We seem to be arriving at a place where we'll need to throw our bodies in the gears to stop this stuff. Yeah, not sure I'm interested in showing up to a protest at the moment where I'll inevitably meet someone who didn't vote because Democrats are neocons or some crap. Death by 1,000 cuts. Y'all, this is a not okay stuff I'm fixing to read you. We live in Kentucky. Do you think our presidential votes mattered? Well, if you're a Democrat, they didn't. It would not have mattered anyway. They are pretty much admitted they stole the election. They didn't have to. He had way more votes than Kamala. People suck. If it helps at all, there's a new generation of people ready to fight like you have, and we need people with experience around. Be kind to yourselves and take as much time as you need. Do more than protest. Find ways to F with your local reps that are supporting fascism. If you live in such an area, try to get them replaced. Come to their next primary by getting leftists to vote in the right-wing primary. Listen to what I'm telling you. Try to get them replaced. Come to their next primary by getting leftists to vote in right-wing primaries, if your state allows it. If you aren't in a fascist area, find ways to push your non-fascist reps to be more stringent in calling this crap out. Legal harassment for days. Find local fascist businesses and get the word out. If your local city council is fascist, find ways to bring them down. If they have any fascist policies or programs, figure out a way to hit the city budget until they are rescinded. Protest, burn your way out, because it requires those in power to actually care and react. All the protests in my adult life have made little to no change at the national level. Some at the city level, but that's about it. You might change some minds or bring awareness with protests, but it should not be your only tool. Come up with ways to convince local moderates that the fascists are the problem. The left is rather notorious for struggling to be able to convincingly talk to anyone not left-leaning. I'm not done. Nonviolent protests don't work without an implied or explicit threat of violence should the status quo continue. Our education system loves to point out that MLK and the civil rights movement was an example of the success of nonviolent protest, while minimizing the influence of more radical groups like the Nation of Islam and Black Panthers. The fear of more extreme action helped bring white society to the table. Now, these are all different comments on Reddit. Now, I know a lot of people are like, Sam, I don't like Reddit. Reddit is a left-leaning thing. I don't want to get on there. But if you don't know what your enemy is saying, how do you prepare for what your enemy is going to do, folks? Please hit that like button. More people need to realize what we're coming up against. Even more reason to go. Once people stop caring is when they win. Maybe you are protesting for the side that is wrong. That's why instead of protest, we need to riot. Take a page from the French. I am seeing a repetitive narrative of young people calling for a riot like the French. Now, I know we're all going to laugh. We have more money. We have more training. We are more prepared. But do you want to be facing crowds of thousands of young adults who want to physically, bodily hurt you? Is that what you want, America? Because this is where we're at. It says here, all these reports of ICE over here, ICE raid on the school, ICE on such and such street. Has anyone actually confirmed anything besides some sporadic social media panic reports? The next responder says, yes, they are all confirmed. The fact is not reaching you doesn't mean it's not working. It just means you aren't the one who needs the information. So they're admitting that they're doing this. Then there's going to be a rally. Listen up, folks. I found some information. I'm going to start sharing it. Trump is coming for the people we love. Let's gear up and fight back. That's what the flyer says. It is going to be a Zoom meeting. It's for the Louisville area on February 12th, 2025 from 7 to 8. Somewhere in person at the Fairness Campaign Office. Address is 2263 Frankfurt Avenue. That's for the Louisville area. Then we're going to go back to Reddit. Let's see what Reddit's saying. We need something more drastic, like a countrywide general strike. We need to hit them. That's us. That's what they're talking about, us. We need to hit them in their soft spots, their sensitive spot. Protests mean nothing to the people in charge. They'll simply send the cops to violate our rights and then spin it in the news to make us look like violent thugs. Well, that's kind of how you're behaving. I'm not saying give up. I'm saying that we will have to get creative and be prepared to help each other through the hard times ahead. We will have to make things harder for everyone before things get better. On a separate but related note, anyone expecting the Dems to do anything substantive needs to wake up. They're strategically useless. So, hey, baby. Okay, be safe. So this is what they're saying. They're saying that they're not even Democrat. These kids are so far left that they don't even expect the Democratic Party to help them. They're saying they need to be more drastic, that, you know, protests aren't good enough anymore. They need to hit us in our soft spots. It needs to be bad for all of us before anything gets better. It says here, it's a site. I looked it up. Here it goes. This is the website. You all can go look this up. www.generalstrikeus.com. Okay. The next one, there's a group from Kentucky. It's called the Kentucky Signal Group to Organize. I will drop that link in description of this video when I'm off. It says here, just to be the devil's advocate, not good people are going to try and infiltrate certain spaces to install fear, and will even make up protests against them as bait. Community is important, but please be sure of who you're meeting with. So what they're saying is they expect us to start coming on their safe spaces and ratting them out to the police. Then there's an LGBTQ whatever site called www.safewithpride.com. You can check that one out too. The next Reddit user said, F protest. They've done absolutely nothing for us. Everything we've protested before over the last 50 years is getting yanked away. And we all saw how great the BLM protests worked. The only thing the protests have done was get local businesses involved for the sake of their profit margins and piss off people trying to get to work. Protests don't work, not peacefully anyways. I'm not saying do nothing. I'm saying do something different. Let's go French with it, you know, Les Miserables. So I've warned you. They're saying, you know, here was the one that caught me, just blew my mind. Face covering, mask, cover your tattoos, your tennis shoes, pack light with preferably a cross bag or such with first aid. Leave your phones off at home and make sure no selfies. It's important to be loud, but we need to be smart. Seriously? Your own social media planning to riot across America, and you're worried about being smart? Am I the only person that sees the ignorance? I'm just saying. It says, how do we preserve what is being taken away in our communities? I think it means a new way of fighting back, becoming more reliant on each other and our communities and those like us, supporting each other. These are the things that are heavy on my mind right now. So much is happening and so much more is to come. I think it's so important for us to think outside the box right now. And I'm hoping if we can come together and do something, we can also revive the fight by doing. It's important to remember that those mostly affected by all these things that are happening are at such a disadvantage. It is them we fight for, not just against the POS elected. We need to revive one another and pour into ourselves. We must do something. Maybe it's time to get back to community ideas, meetings, and plannings. I don't want to hear about any civil gatherings unless it's to form a militia dedicated to removing fascist, racist, and Nazis from this planet. Wow. Wow. Sweet Jesus. Now I'm going to show you something. There's a woman by the name of Kendall Brown. Her sites all go under Kendally Brown. She's on TikTok, Instagram. I mean, if you can be on it, this woman is everywhere. And what she said made me so flippin' angry. I said, girl, I'm going to make you famous, but I'm going to make you famous on YouTube where all my people are. So my people,
circle up. Listen, ladies.
Welcome to Kindle.
All right? They've even started already in some places, and no location is off limits this time around, not even schools or churches. So you know what that means, right? That's right. It's time for us to put our very best Karen skills to good work. Now, I don't want to hear none of y'all hopping into my mentions going, Kindly, I don't know how to Karen. Bitch, yes, you do. Yes, you do. We all do. Let's not pretend that skill doesn't come as a part of our default package straight out of the factory, all right? So here are your marching orders. If you see an ICE official, be that at your job, at your school, at your church, anywhere in your community, if you see an immigration official, you go full DEFCON Karen immediately. I'm talking pull out all of the stops, whatever you can do to distract that official and waste his time. I'm talking complaints. I'm talking demands to see his superior officer. I'm talking long rambling stories about people he's never met and situations that are fully unrelated. Nothing is off the table. And if all of that fails, you pull out the white woman Hail Mary. That's right. I'm talking about white lady tears. I don't care if you have to pull a full-blown temper tantrum in front of that immigration official. You do whatever you have to do to become a physical barrier between that immigration official and the vulnerable members of your community that he is targeting. Ladies, listen, we have trained.
Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous in America? The vulnerable people in your community. Do you mean the people that have literally broken federal law to come into America? Those people who cause your car insurance to go up, and it's totally impossible for your young adults to buy a home because they're causing a housing crisis. There's 30 million of them. There's too many. They're not vulnerable. They take jobs from Americans that would willingly do that job. Of course, we won't do it at slave labor like they will, which is what the corporations want. But we don't want them here filling our schools with kids that come from third world countries that only know violence. Folks, does my heart break for their children? Yes. But how about this? We have been fighting to make America great again for the past 8 years. How about they go back to their country and put the effort that it took to get to mine illegally, go back to your country and make your country great again for your children. Do it for generations like Americans have. Do it for generations like Americans have. My ancestors fought in the Revolutionary War, friends. My ancestors fought in the Civil War, friends, to free the slaves. My family has been Republican since Republican was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was marching for blacks to have voting rights. We were marching for women to have voting rights. My ancestors were the first women ever in the armed service. Like, we're about breaking that ceiling, baby. But I'm not about killing the unborn, and I'm not about feeding the illegals in this country anymore. I'm done. And if people on my channel can't get behind how much I love my country, then I'm sorry. Maybe my channel ain't right for you, because I'm not going to curb my tongue, and I'm not going to walk around the topics because they're uncomfortable. It's not who I am. I can't be true to anybody but myself and Jesus. It's called integrity. And I have 4 young adults to see settled in this country. And when my children have to come home every couple of months because there are no jobs for them, and when I take my daughter to college out of state and there's no money for her, but there's illegal aliens going there 100% for free, it makes me a little mad because their ancestors didn't put in the work. Mine did. Yours did. Whether you're white or you're black or you're Hispanic, your ancestors put the work in this country. Not all these others that are here illegally. If you're here legal, welcome to America. We all came here as immigrants. Welcome to an amazing country that is sovereign. And when I say sovereign, it means that we are a country that is based on law. And the minute that half of the country forgets that law actually counts, and there's a purpose for those laws to keep us safe, we're in trouble. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing people think it's cute to get on Reddit and websites and social media and talk about hurting all the people in this country because it's fascist to want a sovereign country. We're wrong because we don't want unborn babies killed for no good reason. Do you guys not see the hypocrisy in that? Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. But I'm going to show you how crazy some of these people actually look. So there's a Lemon Institute is horrified to be issuing a red flag alert for the United States of America. On the very first day of the second Trump term as president, Elon Musk's clear use of the Nazi salute not once but twice during his speech has given us no other choice. In other words, the same people that chanted from the river to the sea are now saying that Donald Trump is anti-Semitic and genocidal because of Elon Musk. Can't make it up. I simply cannot make it up. Then you have, hold on, let me get them.
Literally not a joke. I do not think our boots, I've got some you've got to go look up. Red shoes alert in the US. This is literally not a joke. I do not think people are really taking this as seriously as we need to take it. I'm not saying panic because panicking will not help anything, but you need to start planning and thinking about what we're going to do in all of this. You're just now seeing this, even though it's posted then. We already know why. You can search it and find it, but it's not coming up on your page. So if you want to buy these boots, go search this up with this. Make sure you tell all your friends because I know they're going to want these winter boots too. If you're looking for boots,
tried to warn y'all. DEA raid in Colorado, 50 plus arrested. Then there's this going on in Texas.
And it's so amazing to see all these young people. Mm-hmm. That's the generation that wants to fuck around and find out. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's so important. It's so, like, I love seeing all the young people coming out here and support their families. Oh, look at the flag. Maya, look at the flag. Oh, look at all the people supporting us on the bridge. You want to come and hold my flag? Y no los vamos, aquí estamos. Y no los vamos, aquí estamos. Y no los vamos, aquí estamos. Y no los vamos.
All I gotta say is go back to Mexico.
Circle up. Listen.
Y'all
ladies,
saw her.
ICE raids are coming.
Then this one says, remember your safe spots. Your safe spots are schools and hospitals and churches. They're not supposed to be able to come get you there, but they can.
Night owls and fans of late night drama, buckle up, because tonight's episode of Operation Primetime Panic is coming at you with all the finesse of a drunk uncle at a wedding. So Crazy's latest masterpiece, ICE raids in Los Angeles, turning the City of Angels into the city of what fresh hell is this? Right as you're settling in for your evening Netflix binge. These raids are part of a week-long West Coast operation, conveniently designed to make sure you never sleep soundly again. The mission? To catch criminal migrants. A label so broad it probably includes anyone guilty of liking pineapple on pizza. At least they're avoiding wildfire areas. How thoughtful. Who says the administration doesn't have a heart? And because drama isn't drama without theatrics, they've upped the ante with military aircraft for daily deportation flights. Yes, military planes. Because what's more comforting than knowing deportations are happening with the same planes used in wars? It's like using a bazooka to swat a fly. Critics are calling it heavy-handed, while the administration swears it's about law and order, highlighting arrests of gang members, drug dealers, and anyone whose Wi-Fi password is password123. So, there you have it. ICE raids under the moonlight, military planes in the skies, and a city on edge. Just another average evening in the land of freedom and justice for all. And hey, if you enjoy watching this circus unfold with
So do you see what they're doing? Do you see how they're terrifying these kids? Folks, if I could give you any advice, sit down with the children in your neighborhood. Open up conversations with the young people in your life. Talk about where your family came from, how your family migrated to America. Talk about the hardship of your family migrating to America. The fact that you had to pass health checks. And if anything was wrong with you, they put you back on the ship and pushed you back out into the ocean, most likely to die. Talk about how there was no social services to support your family members when they came here for a better life. And if they didn't have a skill or money to start their life, they had to work really hard. Explain to them that there was no illegal border crossings in the midnight hours with children with bracelets on their wrist now being owned by the cartel. Maybe it's time you taught your children and grandchildren instead of the public school system. Because, guys, we're in real trouble. These kids want a fight. That's all that they've been told, is that we're fear-mongering. We're hurting them. Here's one that somebody sent me that was off of Facebook. You guys thought I was joking about those cute winter boots, didn't you? Thought Sam didn't know what she was talking about. How could you be so decisive, Sam? How could you feed and sow into the fear, Sam? Really? Are you looking at the screen, my friend? Do you see the last one? Hashtag what? What is that word, everybody? It's on Facebook.
It has come to my attention that a lot of people are protested out, meaning time and time again, they go and protest against their government, and they vote for leaders that promise a better future. And time and time again, they get proven that protesting doesn't do anything. But let that not discourage you, but motivate you even more, especially for people that don't have the opportunity to protest right now. Funny thing is that our founding fathers actually predicted this. Yeah, the 7 men with the white hair. Yep, them. They actually had a justification for rebellion. They believed that it was our moral duty to I don't really know where I was at. I got a call, but yeah, founding fathers, they believed it was our moral duty to revolt and resist, especially when it came to our liberty. So for those of you that are protested out, the best thing that I can tell you is to take time for yourself, but don't stare away from the bigger picture here.
In the same video that she got confused about something about 7 white-haired founding fathers. What in the world has public schools been teaching these children? And she couldn't even complete her thought because she got interrupted by a phone call. And while she's saying that they need to rebel, she also encourages them to take time for their emotional selves. Jesus have mercy. Somebody should have tore her butt up with a belt. We wouldn't be in this situation. All right, here's another one. Stop only posting and start acting. Put flyers everywhere. It doesn't matter if you live in a small town, the country or a big city, flyers get the movement known. Let everyone know not to buy anything on January 29th. So here's what I want all of you to do. Don't grocery shop, don't get gas, don't pay your bills until January the 29th. We're going to spend so much money on January 29th that these little kids, nobody will even be commenting about they lost money to these little brats, okay? Let people know to delete Meta and Twitter accounts and stop funding corporate greed. Protest, protest, protest. Get active in your community and don't be afraid to be arrested. Educate yourselves, read banned books. Look up terms you don't understand. They're banned because the government wants us to stay uneducated and weak. Stay off social media and keep promoting the movement. Warn people of ice cream trucks. Yell La Migra and start running to attract attention to you instead of who needs it most. Distract them, then start reading your rights to them. They will not win. Here's another one. Peaceful protest march. Meet at 2 p.m. at Starbucks near the entrance of Walk starts at 2:25. Ends at Trump Tower, January 29th, 2025. Cute winter boots. Y'all thought I was joking.
Because why are you guys making protesting corny? Like, this winter boots thing is kind of silly.
It is.
Because winter boots started with a good message. You have to be cautious of ice, so why wouldn't you? But some of y'all think just because you post on social media, like, you make a difference. Face coverings to go with your winter boots. Hand wrap techniques so you don't get hurt wearing your cute winter boots. I understand that January 29th is like an important day for protest, but you are not a revolutionary. You're just not, and it's obvious. If someone wants to prove me wrong, you got it. But even with kids just hiding, like, eat the rich in comment sections, like in bold text or capitalizing it, I pray that one day you are not corny. I would just extend out of you. I would use all that corny bullshit. I would just... Why are you...
Here's another one. If you're in America, we need to come together immediately. January 29th, we need to protest and boycott anyone who isn't with us. Visit your police department. Visit the state capitol. Visit the governor. Use that voice.
Go to jail. See what y'all gonna come.
Yeah, that's right. There's another one. In Seattle, January 29th. Here's another one. January 29th, 2025, National Day of No Buy Day. Put no money into the economy. Show them that we are the people. Oh, look, here's another one. Peaceful protest checkpoints. Monday, January 29th. It's the community of Phoenix. Get ready, Phoenix. You got them coming to you too, boo.
For this protest. Can somebody please tell me what we're protesting for? I've heard we're protesting for women's rights. I've heard we're protesting against Trump. I've heard we're protesting against the ban on TikTok, which would be great. I've also heard that we're protesting against social inequality, which would also be great. I've heard that we are protesting losing our freedoms, which would be great. Can somebody please clarify for me what we are actually protesting for? That way I know if I should be.
You guys, they don't even know what they're protesting. They don't know what they're protesting. And these are not young children. This is probably 50 and under. And there's some 70-year-old people that you should know better, Granny. Sit down. Close that mouth up, baby. Get out of this. You ain't got no business up in all this, Granny. Y'all, they going nuts. They're insane. Okay. Let me find. I read you guys all the Reddit posts that I found. I mean, like, I know you can't see that. Sorry. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, America. That's Des Moines. It's in every state, my friends. And then guys, we've got to talk about this. Now, I love Trump. I voted Trump in, but I love America more. You get my drift? I love that Constitution. That Constitution that says that we, the people, get our rights from God, the Heavenly Father, and not some politician sitting up in Washington. That one, that's what Sam loves. Well, let me tell you what they're fixing to do, my friends. They're going to try to change the Constitution. There is a Republican, I guess, representative out of Tennessee who wants Trump to serve a third term. Stop the press. I'm not getting behind this. And I will call my officials and tell them, do not change the Constitution. Okay? Because let me tell you guys something. There's a reason that presidents can only serve 2 terms. Could you imagine what Obama would have done with 12 years in the White House? Or the Clintons with 12 years? Or even George Bush Jr. after 9/11, what 12 years would have looked like? So great. Trump's an amazing president. Thank you, God. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, nobody needs 12 years in the White House. It says he wants Trump to serve a third term to continue restoring America to greatness. President Trump's decisive leadership stands in stark contrast to the chaos, suffering, and economic decline Americans have endured over the past 4 years. I agree with that. Trump has proven himself to be the only figure in modern history capable of reversing our nation's decay and restoring America to greatness. As of right now, that stands to be true. But there are other young men and women moving up through the ranks that one day will also be able to restore America to greatness. This amendment would allow President Trump to serve 3 terms, ensuring that he could sustain the bold leadership our nation so desperately needs. The 22nd Amendment, passed by Congress in 1947, after Franklin Delano Roosevelt won 4 terms in office, currently bars Trump and all 2-term holders of the Oval Office from running for a third time. No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than 3 times, nor be elected to any additional term after being elected to 2 consecutive terms. And no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which some other person was actually elected to office shall be elected to the office of president more than twice. That is what the amendment reads. A congressman from Tennessee is pushing for a law change that would allow President Trump to run a third term, but not Democrats like Bill Clinton or Barack Obama. He proposed an amendment Thursday that would allow a third term for Trump, whose 2 terms were interrupted. His 2 consecutive terms were interrupted by Joe Biden. And it is the resolution. It doesn't have a number yet, but it will soon. And when it does, I will update you guys. But it looks like this right now. It is written up. This is not a joke. And I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I'm not okay with it. Guys, when y'all pop on, please hit the like button. Let me know that you're here, who you are, where you're watching from. I would appreciate that. I'm going to tell you guys now. We don't need to change it. We don't need more or less Supreme Court justices. We don't need to abolish the Electoral College. And we don't need to give presidents more than 2 terms. The fact that this man did this right now, right after Trump was inaugurated, is feeding into the flames of why these kids think now that Trump is president, he's never going to leave the office. It's ignorant representatives like this that are like working for the CIA. I fully believe it. I totally agree, Miss Catherine. We should never mess with the Constitution because here's the thing. Trump was voted in fair and square. Okay. Hey, Miss Marjorie, he was voted in fair and square. That's how American politics works. Our Constitution protects and does whatever the majority of Americans want while protecting the rights of minorities. That is the big difference between a constitutional republic and a democratic state. It is why I argue with people all the time about we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. You don't want to change that. Women got the vote because we are a constitutional republic. Blacks are not slaves because we are a constitutional republic. That is what our Constitution does. It protects the minority while allowing the majority to decide how our country is going to be run. Now, the shame of it is this younger generation firmly believes that we're some kind of democracy and that mob rule is how America's run, but it's not. Things take a long time to change for a reason. That way, because, all this transgender stuff wasn't here 6 years ago. But in 4 years, you saw a big, massive swing of this transgender pronoun ideological nonsense. But the laws haven't changed to keep up with public opinion. That's the beauty. That is the beauty of the American Constitution. It is slow to change. So that when you get someone in office or you get a group of people in office that change something very quickly, the laws don't change with it. So a lot of times before all the laws catch up, things settle back down. Okay? It's beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. I am going to run for office in my community. Do I have any background? Nope. But guess what? Each and every one of you, you have a mouth. You have a voice. You have a right to run for public office. We forgot that in this country. For some reason, we think only a certain elect were raised to run for office, right? Only certain people who had rich parents and Ivy League college degrees get to run for any political position in America. Well, guess what? I'm blowing that out the water. Little old me running a 2-acre farmstead in Southeast Louisiana is going to run for public office in my community. If I can do it, you can do it too. It's time that we all stand up and take back territory because guess what? On January 29th, America's fixing to see how serious a bunch of these younger generations are. They're insane. They've been brainwashed. The only way to help them, guys, is pray for them and educate them kindly. Talk to people you know. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you. It's Sunday evening, and I just going to spend some time with my husband. I love you guys so much. God bless you. Be safe. Be prepared. Pay all your bills. Spend all your money on January 29th, and let's show them who holds the purse strings. Love you guys.